Hi, welcome back to the show Easy Eats with Em. I'm Emily, and today we are going to be kicking off our new series called Easy Eggs. Eggs are an inexpensive and delicious form of protein. In fact, they're actually really quick and easy to make, which is perfect for a busy college student like yourself. Today I'm going to be making 4 different types of eggs: scrambled, over hard, over easy, and fried. Let's get cracking. First, we're going to make some scrambled eggs. To begin, you want to heat the temperature to about medium. Now, we're going to put a couple tablespoons of butter in the pan. So now while the butter's melting, I'm going to crack the eggs. And now I just like to add about a splash of milk to my eggs before I scramble them. Now I'm just going to give it a quick whisk. And now that my pan is nice and warmed up, I'm going to pour in the eggs. So when I cook scrambled eggs, I usually do about 2 eggs a person. So right now, I'm actually cooking for 2, which is why I only added 4 eggs. So I don't know about you, but I've actually made some pretty terrible scrambled eggs in my time. I find that before, when I used to make them, the heat would be too high and they'd get dried out and kind of crumbly and pretty gross. I've made some that were way too soft and runny, and that's not good either. So the way I'm teaching you now will actually ensure that you have nice, fully cooked, but fluffy and moist eggs. So after letting it sit for about a minute on medium heat, I'm going to give it a quick and slow stir. You'll start to see the scrambled eggs clumping into large clumps when you slowly stir it. And so you'll just want to stir it probably 5 to 6 times while it's on medium heat. Now I'm going to let it sit for about 30 seconds without touching it, and then I'm going to reduce the heat down to medium-low. Now I'm going to give it another slow stir. That's the trick to really good moist scrambled eggs, is you have to cook them nice on a low and slow speed. So now I'm just going to let the eggs sit for another minute. They're just about done, and now I'm going to add some delicious cheese. So right now I'm taking some pretty sharp cheddar cheese. That's one of my favorite cheeses, is a nice sharp cheddar. If you don't like sharp cheddar, you could honestly add any cheese you like, and it'll make your eggs taste great. So now I'm just turning the heat off. I'm going to give it one last quick stir just to quickly melt the cheese. The heat of the eggs will melt the cheese just fine though. I'm also going to give my eggs just a little bit of fresh black pepper. You don't have to add pepper, but I like the combination of the salty cheese with the nice black pepper. And that is it for scrambled eggs. Now it's time to make some fried eggs. Nice and moist. And the cheddar makes a good touch. So for our second egg dish, I'm going to teach you how to make fried eggs. We're going to start with about half a tablespoon of butter per egg. Just a little pat of butter is all you need. And I'm going to put this on about medium to medium-high heat for a fried egg. So now my butter's melted, and I'm going to crack 1 egg into the pan. It's just about halfway done cooking, so I'm going to crack the yolk. So now, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. And it'll only take about 30 seconds on the other side to fully cook. So feel free to give it a few flips. After about 2 minutes, the fried egg is done. Now I'm gonna make an egg over hard. And because my pan has been heated up for a while, I'm gonna turn it down to a little below medium. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of butter this time, so not very much. So I'm just gonna crack my egg right into the pan. And be careful when you're cracking it so you don't break the yolk. And notice how this egg is actually cooking up pretty quickly. The edge of my egg is getting slightly golden brown. Then you know it's ready to flip. You have to be really careful here though not to crack the yolk. And it might take a couple times to practice, but don't worry. Depending on the heat of your pan, it'll only take about 30 seconds to a minute to cook on the other side. To check and see if it's done to your liking, just slowly and carefully flip it over. I'd say that looks like a perfectly cooked over hard egg. Now I'm gonna turn my pan temperature even lower. Now it's almost completely on low. Because the pan's been heated up for a few minutes, we don't need a ton of heat. There's enough extra butter in the pan, so we don't have to add any more. Gently crack the egg again, making sure not to break the yolk. As you can see, that one is cooking very quickly. I'm actually going to turn my heat off halfway through the cooking process. It's important to turn the heat halfway off through cooking because you don't want the bottom to burn before the top does cook through. Your over easy egg will be done when the top isn't too jiggly. So you can just give it a little jiggle. And if it's still pretty jiggly on top, just let it cook for about 30 seconds to a minute longer. And remember, we turned off the heat, so it'll cook a little bit slower than normal. Thanks for watching Easy Eats. Today we made scrambled eggs, fried eggs, and eggs over easy and over hard. They only took a couple of minutes to make each, which is great for your busy schedule. Thanks for watching, and until next time, get crackin'.